welcome back on the Good Morning Artesia radio show. And I've been looking forward to this conversation for a few days now because I am a big coffee drinker. And the other day, we get in the mail a package from Eastern New Mexico University in Portales from John Hauser, and I open it up, and there's coffee in there. And so I wanted to talk to John about it. So joining us now on the Zoom call, John Hauser, Assistant Vice President, Marketing and Communications at Eastern. Good morning, John.
Good morning, Gene. How are you doing down there?
Hey, we are doing great. Good to see you. John and I have been talking off and on during the off season. I made the announcement last week and already got a whole bunch of thumbs up. I don't know if you've heard anything back there, but we are going to broadcast Eastern Greyhound football on our family of stations starting this fall on KEND at 106.5 out of Roswell, and we're really looking forward to that. How's the team? I'm a new coach, right?
Yeah, new coach, Ty Hyatt up here. We're going to run more of a spread offense from what I've heard from him. He's very energetic, and team is, we're coming off a bowl win in 2019. We didn't play in 2020. So, yes, a New Mexico team actually won a bowl game. So now I know that's hard to believe. But, yeah, we actually win a good majority of our games. We've, that's the nice thing for all your listeners out there is that, we were 8-4 2 years ago. We didn't play last season. So, and we got a lot of local kids. A lot of kids from Roswell, Artesia, Carlsbad, even Ruidoso, I think we got a couple kids as well. Portales, of course. So, Clovis. So anyone that tunes into your stations, they'll hear some names and go, oh, yeah, I remember that kid played at Goddard, 2 years ago or something like that. So we're when people talk about the school that truly recruits New Mexico, it's not UNM, it's not NMSU, it's Eastern, because I would say probably about 60-70% of our roster is New Mexico kids.
That is fantastic, and it's been a successful program over the years. You have a new stadium. I say new stadium. It's been there a couple of years now, but it's a beautiful stadium there in Portales.
Yeah, we finished it in 2016, I want to say is when it opened, and it's on campus, so you don't have to drive 10 minutes north of here to Blackwater Draw Stadium. Now it's a nice 4,000-seat stadium there right there on our campus. It has a great track, too. We hosted the Lone Star Conference Championship track meet 2 years ago. So there's a lot of, really nice facilities we have here. It's really kind of the hidden gem here on the High Plains is what I like to say to people. You can do a virtual tour of our campus at enmu.edu and check it out because we got the stadium up there, the basketball arena. We have a 4,000-seat basketball arena. People probably don't realize that. So yep. It's really a nice Division II setup for our athletic program.
It is. I have not seen any of the college games there. I know we sent a crew to do a Goddard football game. You're right. Year before last, or whenever it was the last time that could happen. So I haven't been to your football facility, but boy, we've got some stories about the broadcasting from Blackwater Draw over the years, and that's where Jim Wilburn, I think, coined the phrase on a windy night in north of Portales. There's trees, Volkswagens, and small babies blowing across the football field right now because it got kind of crazy up there.
We get those windy days up here, so no mountains to block it. So still 4,000 feet up, but that wind starts blowing. I say the wind starts blowing out of Ruidoso there, and it doesn't stop till it blows through Portales. So.
That's great. Well, let's talk about the coffee, and we ground the beans this morning. I guess that's what proper coffee people do is you get whole bean and then you grind it for what you need, and we've made a pot, and my wife said it has a wonderful aroma as she was brewing it up, and it does have a nice smell. What do you think? You giving it a thumbs up? Alyssa's giving it a thumbs up. Tell us the story of the Greyhound grind coffee that is now available.
Well, what happened was, the pandemic hit, and we were like any other university in the state. We're tied in with the Collegiate Licensing Company that helps to sell officially licensed merchandise. So if you go to our bookstore, you'll see a little sticker on stuff. And, excuse me, we looked around at what other schools were doing nationwide during the pandemic to, both help, with the licensing as well as help businesses, and we started seeing, officially branded, products. And I can hold this up,
Yep.
and this is officially licensed bag of Greyhound grind coffee. You can see the little hologram here. If my camera doesn't keep cutting out. And basically, I went to our president and said, "Hey, we can start doing this. Why don't we look at some different products to do?" And she agreed. And so I called Landell Goodsby, who's the owner of Sweetwater's at Landell's here in town, and said, "Hey, he's an alum." And I said, "Hey, I know you guys are one store in town, but here's the idea. Who do I need to talk to?" And he pointed me at Red Rock Roasters out of Albuquerque. And they're a woman-owned business out of Albuquerque, and brew really good coffee. And they were his distributor. So I called there, got their coffee director on the phone, told her what we wanted to do, and she goes, "Absolutely, we want to do this." So they went ahead and got licensed, and we worked up and put out a naming contest to our alumni and students and faculty and staff, and had over 200 name submissions, and came up with Greyhound Grind. And then our graphic design team here at Eastern put together a couple different ideas, and our group of stakeholders that we have voted on which design they like best, and came up with that nice coffee grind for those people that are watching at home. And sent it over to them, and we launched the product 3 weeks ago.
Wow.
And been very successful, and the great thing about it is a percentage of every bag sold goes back to supporting NMU scholarships. So instead of buying a bag of Starbucks coffee where everything goes to Starbucks, we get a certain percentage that goes to support scholarships here at Eastern.
Well, you talked about the design committee on the logo. You talked about the name. But what about the blend of coffee itself? Was there a tasting committee? How did you come up with this particular blend of coffee?
Yeah, when I talked to Rachel Langer there at Red Rock Roasters, I said, "Hey, give us some suggestions. What do you think?" And so she sent us two different options. One was a really light coffee, and one was a little darker. And I had a committee of stakeholders, community members, people like that. We had a coffee tasting day, where we tried both coffees, and the this darker blend won. And I'm not a huge dark coffee drinker. I drink lighter, but this was good. I went ahead and I even drank it and said, "This is really good." And so that's the way we came up with the darker blend of coffee that we're running with here, and it's been pretty popular so far. You can get it online at enmu.edu/greyhoundgrind, or if you're in Portales, you can go to Sweetwater's by Landell's. I know Farmers Country Market up here is going to carry it, and then we're going to keep expanding and seeing where we can get it into other stores as well.
That is awesome. And I know this isn't the only product that you're working on. I think we saw a story, and you may have sent it to me, about wine. Is there going to be a Eastern branded wine product coming out soon?
Yeah, so we have the next one that's coming out is, if you know Taco Box up here in Portales and Clovis, we've partnered with them to do a salsa. So we're going to have Silver Dog Salsa, which should be out by the end of the month, which is a medium salsa. So that'll be for sale. And then we teamed with Southwest Wines out of Deming and Albuquerque there to do a white wine, which should be out towards the end of the year. And then we also have a vineyard up here called Enchantment Vineyards, and we're working on a red wine with them, and that should also be out later this year. We're currently trying to name the wine, so if people want to get in on that naming contest, just visit our alumni Facebook page, and you can. We have all the information up there and how to enter and stuff, and we'll send out a great prize package for that. But again, all these products, you buy it, and it helps to support scholarships. And another great thing about it is we're supporting New Mexico businesses as they come out of the pandemic. That was the key point that I wanted to make too, is that we don't want to go to California for a coffee or something like that. We want to, when I set this up, I said we're going to use New Mexico businesses to help support them coming out of the pandemic. So Red Rock Roasters, Taco Box, Southwest Wines, Enchantment Vineyards, they're all New Mexico, companies. Even Taco Box has that New Mexico True logo on their salsa that's coming out. So that was the big thing for us, is that we're not going to, we're 20 miles from Texas. I'm not going to bolt over to Amarillo or Lubbock for something. It's going to be a New Mexico company, and that was a big point of emphasis with both our president and myself as we plan this out.
I think it's great, and the more that we do that, because you mentioned a national chain when it comes to coffee, and one of the things just irritates me a lot, and I'm guilty of doing it as much as anybody else is from time to time, is we just jump on the phones and buy things from the online people, and we don't check with the local retailers and the local businesses, especially during the pandemic and coming out of the pandemic. So I think it's great that you're focusing on New Mexico businesses to bring this about. And it is a fun way for people to show support. They may not have kids. They may not have kids that go to Eastern. They may not ever go to a game or support anything that's there, but they can buy some coffee or they can buy some salsa and help support Eastern.
Yeah, that's the great thing about it is if, we have about 16,000 alumni in the state. So we're the third largest four-year university in the state. So, this is a great way for anyone that's an alum that might be listening and they say, well, I haven't given to Eastern in the past, but hey, I'll buy a bag of coffee knowing that a certain percentage goes back to the university. And that's the great part about this program. For Christmas, you can buy coffee or salsa and send it to your relatives that live in Ohio or someplace like that, to say, hey, here's my alma mater, or here is a school in my state that I enjoy, following, and I'm supporting scholarships, but here's a good Christmas present for you. So I know I send stuff back to my family back east so they can have, some good New Mexico salsa in the past, and now coffee and wine. So, and the great thing, with the wine too, Southwest Wines is all over the state. Enchantment Vineyards is expanding. They're down in Roswell now. I'm pretty sure you can find them at most of the local stores down in your area. So, I mean, it's great partnerships that we have here. So,
yeah,
with these companies. So
you'll have to talk to the Fens folks in Roswell, because they've got the farmers country markets in Roswell and Fens here. And Artesia and La Tienda down in Carlsbad, so that might be a good.
They got Farmers is up here in Portales too. So
okay, good.
Already started. We work with their general manager here, and then he's talking to the people down in Roswell. So.
Yeah, that is great. Well, talking about enrollment at Eastern, and obviously we've been through the pandemic. Everybody's been through the pandemic. How did things go at Eastern? I take it like everybody else, you went virtual. With your learning for a long time, how did that work out? And then have you been able to get the students back into, or planning to get the students actually back on campus for the upcoming fall?
Yeah, we were shut down all year last year, totally virtual, which was kind of tough because our brand is about student success and becoming friends with the student. You're not just a number here. So you send your son or daughter here, hey, they got a chance to be in my sport management club that I run. So I'm not going to be the guy sitting on the hill. Well, we don't have a hill here, but at the admin building, and your son or daughter never gets a chance to meet me. I'm there. You're going to have Dr. Caldwell is a great person that, they'll see walking around campus, our president, and, there's a lot of really nice people up here that really care about student success, and my wife's a testament to that. She's from Hatch, and she's got 2 degrees from here. So
wow.
It was like, UNM's too big, NMSU is in my backyard. Where do I go? Oh, I'll go to Eastern, and she went here and got 2 degrees here. So because the size was right for her. So, but enrollment wise, I mean, we're hanging in there. Right about our normal pace for this time of year. Still accepting applications. We don't have any sort of application deadline. It's free for kids to apply here, which is great. There's no charge or anything like that. And, we're going to be fully open this fall. So all our dorms, all our dining halls, athletics will be back up and rolling. Great on-campus environment here. So we do a lot of fun things up here at Eastern. Like I said, you can check that virtual tour that's on the website really showcases our campus really nicely. So there's a lot of, great things, especially for people that don't want to go 3-4 hours away to UNM or NMSU. If you come, we're only an hour and a half from Roswell and an hour 45 from Artesia, and so it's the great. I like to say it's far enough away that mom and dad aren't going to bug you every weekend, but close enough that you can go home. So that's the great thing about Artesia and Roswell if you want to come to Eastern. So
Yeah, and I mean it's a 4-year. I mean you have 4-year degrees. I was thinking about the scholarships. Or you're talking about that. I mean, there's the Chase Scholarship Program that's here in Artesia, and there's a number of them that are all around the region. And I'm going to ask: does Eastern accept and take part in those programs and work with just about any scholarship award recipient that someone may have?
Oh yeah, I mean it's we're great with scholarships. I mean high percentage of our students are on some sort of scholarship or financial aid. We have great starter scholarships. If you have a good GPA or if you did take we're test optional. So if you did take the ACT or the SAT and got a high score this past year, we got some great scholarships for that as well. A lot of students come up here and walk out of here with very low to no debt because of the scholarships we offer here. So it's a great opportunity. We got great programs here that, we have master's degrees too. We're online with a lot of our programs too. So even if people want to go get their master's degree, be it in communication or your MBA or something like that, we have great programs where you don't have to leave home. So, and same for undergrad degrees. We got, a renewable energy program for electronic engineering technology. So if you want to be work on the wind farms, that are popping up everywhere, solar, you can do that 100% online here at Eastern. So you don't have to come up here from Artesia if you want to study from home. So,
yeah.
But it's, I do encourage people to come here because it's a great experience. I mean,
I want to take the class on the wind farms. I want to take the class. This has always intrigued me. When I leave Portales, we'll do a ball game, whatever broadcast. I'll leave Portales, and there's that huge wind farm out there south of town.
Elida. Yeah.
And if it's in the evening, you'll see all the red lights flashing. I want to talk to the person that designed the system that figured out how to get every single one of those red lights to flash together. How do they do that? How does that work?
I've driven that enough to go, oh, there's a LIDA when you're like 40 miles out, coming from the south. You're like, oh, I see it at night. So
yeah,
it's great. But yeah, we have a great EET, Electronic Engineering Technology program, and they can teach you how they do that. I mean, that's the cool thing with the Renewable Energy program. So
I mean, we have a tower, and we have 3 beacons on the tower, and they flash together. Yeah. And I can look in the box and I can see how that works, but that's 3 beacons on the same tower hooked up to the same circuit. But we're talking hundreds and hundreds of these things over miles, and they're all sitting there flashing at the same time. It's just amazing.
It's really cool. Really cool to see.
Yeah. So it's not too late, because I'm assuming a lot of parents and kids maybe look at some other universities. Maybe that's their first or second choice. I know you're really big on having Eastern be maybe a first choice for people to consider at the top of the list. But you probably do get a lot of folks that maybe try to get in at some other places, and then they find out that maybe they need to look at Eastern. And I'm assuming that they have a good experience. They're glad that they did wind up at Eastern.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great thing about us is we keep you can apply and get in up to a week after school starts here. Mm-hmm. So if you do go to a bigger school and you're from a smaller town, you go, whoa, what did I get into here? This is ridiculous. You can come back to Eastern, same semester, come right in. You just, fill out your application, and get in the same day. That's our flexibility. To get you enrolled and stuff like that. So if someone goes to UNM and goes, oh my God, and gets lost and says, hey, I need to come back to a smaller school, we accept that, accept you applying up to a week after school starts for the fall semester. So that's a great thing. As I said, I rely on my wife's story of coming from a small town in Hatch. She graduated with 71 kids, went up and looked at UNM and went, oh my God, this is way too big. She's almost 40, and she's still, to this day, we're going to Albuquerque for our alumni golf tournament. She's like, oh, John, you got to drive. I can't drive now. So I'm like, okay, sounds good. So, it's that, and there's a lot of people that grow up on the small farm towns, and that's really, where you want to come to you need to come to Eastern is, if you like that smaller town feel where you're going to know your professor, you're going to listen to games down there in Roswell this fall with Doc Elder calling.
Yep.
Well, guess what? You could hear him on the radio on Saturday and be in his history class on Monday.
Yeah, he's not a doctor of medicine. He's a doctor of letters, and he's an actual
history professor.
Yes.
Yeah. It's Donald Elder, but everybody calls him Doc. So
yep.
He's a doctor of history, and so he teaches our intro history class. So that's the cool thing is one day you could be, listening to him on the radio, and the next, call football, and the next day be in his class, learning about the Civil War or something like that. So,
yeah.
So it's really a great place to come if you're looking for that. I don't want to get lost. I don't want to be a number. Here at Eastern, we take care of our students and we help them to succeed, and that's a big thing. There's so many success stories of people that have gone on to, huge successes. I mean, just on the coaching side, her name's Dana Altman, who's at Oregon. He's a graduate of here. Mark Fox, who's the head coach at Nevada, or not Nevada, sorry, he was at Nevada. He's at California. He was a graduate of here. The biggest name probably that people would be shocked at is Bill Snyder up at Kansas State, the guy that the football stadium's named after and regenerated Kansas State. He had his master's degree from here.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's really a lot of people that you go, wait, they went to Eastern? Wow, I didn't know that. So there's a lot of success here, a lot of history. Even if you're in town for the weekend, stop by our library. We got the third largest science fiction collection in the collegiate world at our library. Because Jack Williamson, who is the dean of science fiction, went to school here and taught here. And when he passed away in 2008, he left his whole science fiction collection to us.
Wow.
Which included the original script for Return of the Jedi, I want to say, or either Jedi or the second movie. So one of those two that you can go see in our archives.
Wow,
so,
that's great. Hey, well, one last thing I want to ask you, John. Obviously, there's Eastern New Mexico University Roswell Campus, and a lot of people go there. What is the relationship between the Roswell Campus and the mothership, if you will, the main campus in Portales?
We're one system now, so we all work together. I know Sean Powell, the president, real well down there. Great guy. They got some great programs there. They're welding and automotive technology programs down there. I think they got a good aviation program for those 2-year degrees that people are looking for. They're a good group of people down there. The great thing with there you go there for 2 years and you can transfer up here. So I mean that's the real great partnership we have with them as well. But anyone that's looking to get those 2 first years out of the way, or if you're just looking for that associate's degree, ENMU Roswell is a great place to go and learn and succeed and be part of a community. And they got some really unique degree programs down there as well.
Okay, but it's all part of the Eastern system, so everything's transferable. If even Portales looks to be too big, you can stay home in Roswell or whatever and go there.
If you want to go live in the mountains in Ruidoso, you can go there as well, since we got a branch campus there. But it's all under our chancellor here. So Dr. Caldwell is the president of Portales, but the chancellor over the whole system. So. Okay,
that is fantastic. Well, we really love the coffee, John. This is fantastic stuff. And what do you think? Alyssa, do you like? Okay, we got a thumbs up from Alyssa over here. Lana loves it too. So this is really good. And if you want to buy some, until it gets in all of the stores, it is online, right?
Yeah, it's if you go to enmu.edu/Greyhound grind, all one word, and they do have whole bean, drip, French press, and espresso options.
Yeah.
So there's 4 different options there. If people, don't want to grind up their coffee, they got the drip, but they also have French press and espresso options. So
my brother-in-law is one of those coffee snobs, that has the whole thing. And I mean, when he travels, he brings this one of his suitcases is all of his coffee stuff.
Yeah.
And then of course my mother-in-law is like with the Mr. Coffee. Here, do you want some coffee? And he's like, no, I don't want any of that. I'm not that. If you make it in a Mr. Coffee or with the French press or whatever, I'm fine with it. It's excellent.
It's a great like I said, it is a great partnership with Red Rock Roasters, and it's really good coffee. And you just remember when you buy it, you know that it's going to Eastern as part of a scholarship to help a student from your area, since we do get a high percentage of our students from Roswell and Artesia and Carlsbad. A lot of kids from the eastern part of the state come here, or the smaller towns surrounding it. So
Good. John, thank you so much. Appreciate your time, and we need to have you on regularly just to talk about stuff.
Whenever you'd like me to come on and talk to you guys, be more than happy.
No, we need to do that. I know we're going to have you on up in Roswell as well, plus your athletic program, because we're really excited about the football coming to our family of stations, and you can hear KEND down here, and of course we're on the internet, so we're really excited about that. How did you put it? When John and talking to me, why don't you put a winning football program on the radio?
No offense. I mean, UNM has won in the past, and NMSU won 3 years ago. But I get to kind of say, I worked at NMSU, so in their athletic department for several years. So I kind of get to say, hey, it's nice to go to a football game and actually hear us score touchdowns and be competitive and win games. I mean, it's really, we're playing West Texas A&M and Angelo State, schools like that. But hey, it's New Mexico kids. We just had Wyatt Strand from Logan, who had a record-breaking career. Kamal Cass, who played at Clovis High School, smashed every record that we've had here, running the ball. And a lot of New Mexico kids that are here. And it's great to see them come up here and be able to succeed and, win football games and have some pride representing New Mexico. Winning, we win 6, 7, 8 games almost every year.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of fun to see where, in 2017, we had ESPN here broadcasting a game when we played Midwestern State. So
that's pretty exciting. We had ESPN here in Artesia one year for a high school game.
Yeah.
And it was against Clovis. By the way, it was when Landry Jones was playing football here, and it was Artesia Clovis. ESPN guys come in, or whoever they contract with to come in. You spend a lot of time, especially when you're on my side of the business, looking at those guys. How are they doing that? How are they doing that? What are they doing here? What are they doing there? It's always kind of fun. Looking forward to it, John, and we'll have you back again. And we're going to really enjoy this Greyhound grind and encourage folks to go out and get it, order it, and support Eastern. So thanks a lot.
Thank you very much. Thanks. Have a good afternoon.
All right. You have a great day, too. John Hauser at Eastern New Mexico University in Portales, and we're enjoying the Greyhound grind.